You're watching Lansdowne Raw, the voice of the fans. I'm Martin Prendergast, joined by Conor McAvoy, and this is the week in Irish football we've all been waiting for. It's been like Christmas Eve, the build-up to Ireland's biggest game in many a year as Ireland head to Czechia on Thursday to take on Czechia in the World Cup semi-final playoff. Thanks for joining us on Lansdowne Raw this evening. This is a live show, of course, with Conor and myself. We're going to be chatting all things Irish football. We're going to be chatting Big, where we get on with how the lads were playing over the weekend, of course. And this is the most interactive Irish football podcast out there. We already had some fantastic comments coming in, but keep them coming in. We want to hear from you. Are you traveling to Prague? Are you optimistic about Ireland getting two fantastic results in the next 7 to 8 days? And are you going to be in Dublin? Are you going to be in Prague? Are you going to be having the crack with us in Czechia? And also, while I'm here, I just want to introduce you to two fantastic partners who are part of the show. Slattery's the Beggar's Bush. We're going to be there on Tuesday night, win or lose in Czechia. We're going to be there to obviously meet the Irish fans and the home of the match day pint. That's where we're going to be. But also check out our other fantastic partner, Travel Igo, who offer bespoke packages to Champions League, Premier League, and they're also going to be sorting out our trip to the World Cup, aren't they, Conor? How are you getting on, my friend? Are you excited as I am?
I am. I'm delighted with how last week has gone since the squad night's been buzzing. I want to read a quote out by my good friend Celtic Symphony. He put a message in the Telegram group before the start saying, get in the live stream tonight, gents. This is what we've been waiting for. Show support, quite big. That is my type of man right there. Supports the podcast from day dot, really. Is that well, since rep checkers become involved. Yeah. David Dunn, by the way, we don't know where David Dunn is gone. He is somewhere missing in London ahead of flying to Czech Republic tomorrow. But you will see him in the rest of it. Actually, you won't see him on tomorrow's show because the show coming out tomorrow that myself and Martin recorded in advance to release tomorrow. But you'll see David Dunn in Czech Republic. Although I don't know if you've seen, a lot of people have been getting quite bitty about it, saying that how dare you call him Czechia, because the Czechs hate being called Czechia. They say it should be called just Czech Republic. Although that's their football name, so we'll just keep calling them Czechia. They can do one if they have something against us, Martin, because we'll sort them out. But anyway, yeah, it's great to be back on. I'm absolutely buzzing for the week ahead. I'm not looking forward to though getting a bus at 2:00 tomorrow morning, or basically tonight, up to Dublin Airport to get a flight to Prague. But it's the beauty of flying to these countries. You get the cheapest flight at the worst possible time. But yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing. I can't wait to see. And obviously, it's not just seniors; it's 21s, 19s, 17s. So yeah, I'm buzzing. How excited are you, Mr. Prendergast?
I am massively excited. Like, I genuinely, I don't think I've been as excited for an Ireland game in many years. You know, I've been at playoffs previously. I've been at the World Cup the last time we were there in 2002. You know, traveling around the world watching Ireland, we've just, you know, you live for days like this. You genuinely do. We've always been punching above our weight. We've had some fantastic days, had some fantastic experiences. 2012 was amazing, qualifying at long last. And after we were robbed, obviously, by Thierry Henry, I am going to bring it up. But also, you know, 2016 was just a fantastic experience. I'm desperate, as all Ireland fans are, to be at World Cup again, experience tournament football again, because it was just such a brilliant experience. And I think we've got a new generation of fans who are involved now and really are getting passionately behind this Irish team. We can knock the FAI and we can knock the players, knock past managers and all that kind of thing. We want to see the team do well, though. I think that's just our common cause. And I can't wait for it. I think it's going to be a hell of an atmosphere in Czechia. The numbers going over there are incredible. We're going to have a brilliant crack anyway. And hopefully get the ones who are lucky enough to make the stadium. We'll get behind the team. We'll get a fantastic result. I love the positivity out of the camp, which we're going to come and chat about now. And then if we can be in contention, of course, for Dublin, I just can't imagine. I think it will be the best ever atmosphere at an Ireland game at home. First, yeah. I won't be able to even think back to what it was. Yeah. Because even you think back to like Germany when we beat them 1-0 and stuff, going into that game, you're optimistic. But this is actually to qualify for a World Cup in one game. You're not reliant on, you know, you've got there and it's just a one-off game. It's not like, you know, the 0-0, the away goal kind of stuff. That kind of thing's not present now. So I can't wait for it. I think it's going to be absolutely brilliant. And looking forward to seeing all the Irish fans as well. As I said, a new generation's there now. And they bring a lot of. I'm very aged, and they bring a lot of passion and a good bit of crack with it. As long as everyone's sensible, looks after each other as usual, I'll always bang that drum. But look, we've seen the interaction. Look, it's absolutely hopping already. Our comments tonight. So thank you for your support. Make sure you have subscribed to the channel. We've got a comment here. I don't know if this is actually very correct, but with the context of this, but these games will make or break this podcast. As Martin Fitzpatrick, a fantastic support of us. But like we're here. This is what we have been building up for the last few years. We've been following Ireland home and away, and it's for days like this. And the effort we put into it, of course, is really something. But also we know it's appreciated by Irish fans. Love meeting you all. It's not about us. It's about the Irish football team, and I can't wait for it. I'm so excited.
Well, no one meets Dave because Dave's a mysterious character that just hides from everyone.
No, I've seen, and I'm going to bang this drum as well. Like, you guys have done the pre-match stuff from the stadium. You've done the aftermath as well. It allows Irish fans to have interaction. I've left Lansdowne Road, and I've, all right, WhatsApping you later on or chatting voice notes and that kind of stuff. The interaction we have, but I've been listening to the show. It's been crucial to, we'll never forget the buzz of you guys. I'll never forget the rant from Armenia away, but I won't also forget the absolute buzz. How you're excited.
What about Luxembourg?
Yeah, Luxembourg as well. Like, we've had bad moments, but we've been genuine, and that's what I think it's about, and that's what I think all Irish fans are getting our rewards now for sticking by this team, and this is a really exciting time for Irish football. And
but Martin, just before you go into the next segment, we already have 66 watching live on YouTube, so you better smash that like button because we want to hit 8K by the end of the window, and there's only 9 likes on it so far on YouTube. So if you're excited for the window, just hit the like button, please. It means a lot. It helps push us out. But what a time to be alive. Like, the comments are flying and now everyone's buzzing. Thursday can't come quick enough, and I know a lot of people's international break really starts. I know some people started today with the fact that they already flew over, but then tomorrow and Wednesday is when people really get in the groove, and it's going to be unbelievable.
Yeah. And just for you asking, and we are obviously in jest about Dave. Yeah, Dave is obviously traveling to Prague, and he'll be part of the team obviously there. He'll be doing the pre-match. He'll be at the press conferences with Conor. We're going to be on the streets of Prague as well, meeting Irish fans. We've got a few surprises along the way as well. Looking forward to interviewing a number of you who we already made contact with. So it's going to be absolutely brilliant. And yeah, just thank you for your support, because it is incredible. And we're going to get through all your comments tonight. It's going to be a busy show, I expect. But we're going to find out, first of all, with the man in the know, rep tracker himself, Conor, how the lads got on in our final O-Big before the international window. This is how the lads got on over the weekend. So we're going to start as usual with the goalkeepers. Here we go. So Caoimhín Kelleher had 90 minutes in a 0-0 draw versus Leeds for Brentford. Max O'Leary's out injured, of course, at the moment. Josh Keeley, who's making an appearance in the squad, 90 minutes, 1-1 draw. Mark Travers, unused sub for Everton. And Gavin Bazunu is also injured. But Josh Keeley, we're delighted that Josh Keeley, we've been banging that drum as well. I've used the phrase 3 times now. I better think of something new. But yeah, we have been staunch supporters of Josh Keeley. Fantastic to see him in the squad. Just reward for his performances, I think, for Luton this year. And, justification for that move as well. Anything of note from the goalkeepers? I know Kelleher is interesting. He got a little bit of abuse, didn't he, for this, this injury feigning thing. I had actually a few Irish fans say to me, "Oh, I'm very disappointed that he's done that. I don't think that's right," and things. And I said, take your club hat off and just remember that his managers told him to do it, or the coaches have. And if he does that when we're 1-0 up or 2-0 up in Prague on Thursday, you won't have a problem with it. So that was what I said in response. Any thoughts on that, Conor?
Yeah, it was probably the worst case I've ever seen of goalkeeper time wasting, because he went down, he started smiling straight away. The physios and doctor came on. They didn't even test out his knee or test out his hamstring for an injury. They just started tapping his leg. So it was so obvious he was feeling it. And then you seen the sub keeper. He ran about 10 yards and then went and sat back down. It was probably the worst case I've ever seen of the time wasting saga that's going on in football at the moment. But I can't blame him for doing it. They probably needed to take that. They were under pressure at that time of the game. And fair play to Caoimhín. He got a clean sheet again. The rest of the keepers didn't really have a weekend of note. Well, only of them keepers, only 2 of them played. Himself and Josh Keeley, wasn't it? Yeah, because Travers doesn't play. Bazuni's injured still, unfortunately. And I don't know if Bazuni will actually play again this season. I'd worry if Bazuni will actually be available to come in for the World Cup, Martin, if we get there, because although obviously he would be available in the sense of not being being not injured, but Johansson from Sweden, who is one of the best keepers in Championship, if not the best, will be back and fit, and they're not going to play Gavin over him. So I don't know where
Mm.
Gavin's going to get minutes between now and the end of the season, and like very hard to say you deserve to keep your place in the Ireland squad under a manager. Really, it'd be different probably if Stephen Kenny was in charge because of like kind of the loyalty and trust he built with him. But with Hamer's never really used him at all. So yeah, I don't expect if we get to World Cup, I don't expect Gavin Bazunu to be in the squad, which is probably an early bold prediction. But it's not. I wouldn't put it. It's not Gavin's fault. Like it's just the circumstances.
It's one of them things. It's football, yeah.
Yeah.
And stop using the word if. Okay, if we get to the World Cup, that is banned.
Oh, when? Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Right, here we go. Here come the defenders. Okay, so Robbie Brady was an unused sub, but we know he's back in the squad and in training with Ireland, of course. John Egan, 90 minutes in a 3-1 win versus Sheffield Wednesday for Hull. Seamus Coleman, an unused sub, but obviously back in the Ireland squad. Nathan Collins, 90 minutes in that 0-0 draw versus Leeds for Brentford. Matt Doherty, no game and out of the Ireland squad. Josh Honohan, injured at present with Lincoln. Jake O'Brien, 90 minutes in a 3-0 win versus Chelsea. Andrew Amabamadeli, 76 minutes in a 3-2 win versus Nantes, but of course outside the squad. Darragh O'Shea, 90 minutes in 1-1 draw versus Millwall. Liam Scales, 90 minutes in that 2-0 loss versus Dundee for Celtic. James Abankwah, who is in the squad, 90 minutes, 0-0 draw versus Leicester. Jimmy Dunn, 90 minutes in a 6-1 win versus Portsmouth for QPR. Callum O'Dowda, not in the squad for Ferencváros. Mark McGuinness, an unused sub for Sheffield United. Ryan Manning, 91 minutes in a 2-0 win versus Oxford for Southampton. Aaron Cash, 90 minutes in a 0-0 draw versus Middlesbrough for Blackburn. Anselmo Garcia McNulty, 90 minutes, 2-1 win versus NAC Breda. Will Ferry, 90 minutes in a goal and a 2-0 win versus Celtic for Dundee United. Corian Darboe was an unused sub for Lecce. And Kevin O'Toole, 90 minutes in a 3-2 loss versus Miami. And you finally got your way and got Kevin O'Toole in there. Yeah, I did see he did play recently, and I saw that interview as well. So he probably will be a bit disappointed that he didn't get in. But anything notable from the defenders?
I know Dave said, because Dave actually done no big this week. He said Cod wasn't in the squad. He was in the squad. He was just an unused sub, which is not probably a great thing. But yeah, Cod was on the bench in a bad result for them. They drew 1-1, so they're still sitting second in the league. But yeah, defenders wise, Will Ferry had a massive weekend yesterday for Dundee United in that 1 or 2-0 win against Celtic. Goal, man, the match was absolutely brilliant down the left hand side. And I did put a tweet out saying I think he's an excellent player, and I really wonder why Kevin O'Toole was picked over him in November. And obviously Kevin O'Toole seems to have had a really good start to the MLS this season and is doing quite well. But I thought because Ferry had already been in there in October, he's been through the underage system with Ireland before. I thought he would have kept his place, because I think he's the type of player that can go on and I play at the next level after the Scottish League, because I think he's shown it, like he can go on and maybe play in the Championship now next season. Or I know Vancouver FC made a record bid for him, but yeah, he had a great weekend, and he did score a goal as well, which always boosts. And man the match on Sky Sports, which I think Martin's always a boost for a player. But Orion Brady got no minutes heading into international break. He's played like 40 minutes all season, which is quite mental for a football player. Like we're speaking about Boston Wall and Adam Eden not playing minutes in recent weeks, but like Robbie Brady's not even played a full half basically a season of football all season, which is bad. I know Irish Football Blog Bill said that Josh Honan is back over the international break for Lincoln, which will be good for his chances for the May squad, which will be good. Omobamidele started again for Strasbourg. Probably it was a big surprise that Abankwah was picked over him, although Abankwah was doing brilliantly well at Watford. You just thought maybe naturally he might have stayed with the 21s, and you brought in the more maybe experienced head who's played numerous times for Ireland. And Selma Garcia McNulty got man the match for NEC Swole against for PEC Swole against NEC Breda. So yeah, it was a good week defensively. Nothing really stand out too much. Like Collins got his clean sheet heading into the break. Nothing really to worry us anyway. Because Coleman, we were glad Coleman was used as an unused sub because we don't really care. Well, I wonder Coleman's probably played 90. Coleman's probably not even played 90 minutes in total for Everton this season, but he has played 180 minutes back to back for Ireland, and he hasn't been injured. But yeah, So it's a positive weekend from a defensive point of view, Martin. I don't think anyone really was negative.
No. All right, very good. Right, here we go on to the midfielders. Jason Knight, 90 minutes in a 1-0 loss versus West Bromwich Albion. Clean Phillips, 90 minutes in a 2-1 win versus Falkirk. Will Smallbone, out injured at Millwall. Jack Taylor, 24 minutes in a 2-0 win versus Sheffield Wednesday for Ipswich Town. Josh Cullen, out injured and will miss the World Cup. Finn Azaz, 90 minutes in a 2-0 win versus Oxford. Mark Sykes, 45 minutes in a 1-0 loss versus West Bromwich Albion for Bristol. Jason Malumbi, 90 minutes in a 1-0 win versus Bristol City for West Bromwich Albion. Andy Moran got 70 minutes for a 3-1 win versus Stoke for Preston North End. And Jamie McGrath got 86 minutes in a 0-0 draw versus Motherwell for Hibs. Alan Brown back in the Ireland squad, 90 minutes in a 0-0 draw versus Blackburn. Boston Noel was an unused sub for Stoke. And Conor Coventry got 72 minutes in a 1-0 loss versus Norwich, but of course is not in the Ireland squad. Joe Hodge, 90 minutes in a 0-0 draw versus AVS. And Jacob Devaney, 80 minutes in a 2-1 win versus Falkirk for St Mirren. So, Boston Lowell, we've been talking him up for a long, long time. He's in this Ireland squad at last. Mark Robbins isn't very happy that he is in the Ireland squad, though, is he, Connor? And you've been gunning for him. A hero of mine, Mark Robbins, scored the goal that kept Alex Ferguson in the job many, many years ago, 1990 FA Cup run against Nottingham Forest. I show him my age then. But yeah, he's been a good manager, to be fair, overall, at that kind of level. But he's not happy that King Boston, who's now in the Ireland squad and is the saviour of Ireland's midfield, is in the Ireland squad. So tell us a bit more about that.
He can do one, as far as I'm concerned. The reality is Boston Wall has got 3 hamstring injuries this season because of Mark Robbins playing with fullback. None of the injuries have come playing at midfield or centre half. And the reality is he's fit. He wouldn't be in the squad if he wasn't fit. And imagine this, Martin. Man wants to go away and play for his country, make his international debut, and hopefully send him to a World Cup. That's such a big deal, isn't it? It's such a negative than staying at Stoke. Like, he'll never play a bigger game for Stoke than he'll ever play on Thursday night if he plays. But so yeah, and like, I know if you were worried about, he didn't even play on Friday night, but like, the reality was Stephen Nzonzi, Junior Chamberlain, both went off injured at half time. Obviously, Nzonzi was a defensive midfielder for them in that game, and Chamberlain was right back. That's 2 positions Boston's played in recent weeks or recent before the injury, and the pitch was an absolute mess at Deepdale. So he, I'm guessing it was they didn't want to risk him after those 2 injuries happened, and they wanted to just leave him. And sure, he got an extra week recovery. So I'm happy that he didn't get any minutes and he can recover for this week. But yeah, I couldn't care less what Mark Robbins has to say. He wouldn't be in the squad if he wasn't fit, and Mark Robbins can stick that in his pipe and smoke it, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, on that game, Dave didn't include Andy Moore. Got an assist for Preston in the win. They went 1-0 down, and then he got a lovely assist for the goal to make it 1-1. An excellent performance. Andy Moore, thought he was everywhere on the pitch, technically as ever. He's absolutely brilliant. Makes the game look so easy, and it's brilliant to see. Probably Ireland's most technically gifted player, and just has to get that run now again. Senior football. I'd have obviously, he went to the MLS for a while. Came back to play in England. It took him a while to get into the team, which is ridiculous in itself, really, because he's shown it now. Where you're thinking, why has he not been in the team the last month? Like, why have you not been using him? But yeah, he's magnificent talent, and hopefully now we'll see him have a massive end to the season. Preston are doing what Preston always do, Martin. They're sitting 12th or 13th in the league, but no hope of relegation and no hope of playoffs at this stage. So he'll definitely be involved in that May camp. We'll hopefully see him make his full debut anyway. Definitely will, and we'll kind of build that midfield around him in those couple of games because he's that good of a player and he just needs that run. But yeah, it was great to see him. Also, your mate or your cousin Will Smallbone, a lot of people on Millwall Twitter circulating that he's out for the rest of the season. I'm not 100% sure if he actually is or not because there's been nothing confirmed. So yeah, I don't know if that actually is, but it looks like he could possibly be out for the rest of the season with an injury, which is not a good sign, Mr. Prendergast. And yeah, obviously, the likes of Conor Coventry will be very disappointed to miss out. Jimmy McGrath, Mark Sykes will also be very disappointed to miss out. Joe Hodge as well, who's starting to get real minutes, but in fairness, he hasn't been involved in the qualifiers, so maybe he'll be less. But I think the other ones will probably be a bit aggrieved to not be in the squad, to be honest with you. And yeah, so it's good that our depth are still playing every week. But yeah, I don't know if anything stood out there to you.
No, just I suppose like the kind of chat really is Alan Brown. You know, he kind of has had a little renaissance, hasn't he? In a way, getting back into the squad now, first time I think in 18 months, and there's speculation: is he going to start? Where would he fit in, and what he's going to do? But he brings that experience, and to be fair to him, he's made a few moves now, hasn't he? And like it's absolutely brilliant to see. I think he's backed himself really, so he's in good form. I think that's,
But do you
that's
think
real positive.
But the only thing is, like, he's not really playing in midfield where we'd want him to be
No, I
playing
know,
for the
yeah,
Starland
yeah.
team. And even though he's not a number 6 and he never will be, but like if he could do a job, like he played as a number 10 the other day. And it's more he's drifting out the right side. Like he's basically playing right wing these days. Not right wing, it's more right midfield than a traditional midfield or up and down for 90 minutes. So yeah, I just don't think you can play him in midfield for Ireland, to be honest with you, as he does offer a lot off the ball and his energy and his ability to get on the end of crosses. And I think it's right wing back's the only way to play him, or where you play him where Bene plays him. Yeah, I can understand why people want him to be playing possibly, but he's doing really well, although he has missed a couple of sitters in the last couple of games. So hopefully he doesn't miss a couple of sitters for Ireland. Although Malumbi missed a sitter as well at the weekend for West Brom not winning against Bristol City. But he did do he did play well in that win and was a massive win for West Brom. He's playing a big part in them hopefully staying up.
Okay. Right, we're going to finalise Obig with the look at the attackers and how we got on over the weekend. Fesio Basele out suspended at the moment with Istanbul. Evan Ferguson also out injured with Roma, still on loan. Adamida was not in the squad for Swansea City.
He was an unused
sub. Casey McAteer, 68 minutes in a 1-1 draw versus Millwall for Ipswich. Troy Parrott, 90 minutes in a 3-0 loss versus Groningen. Sammy Schmonix, 83 minutes in a 1-0 win versus Birmingham for Derby County. Sinclair Armstrong, 45 minutes in a 1-0 loss versus West Bromwich Albion for Bristol City. Mikey Johnson, as we know, is out injured still at West Brom. Rocco Vata, also out injured at Watford. Tom Cannon, an unused sub at Sheffield United. Chidozie Ogbene, 18 minutes in a 2-1 loss versus Disney FC.
He thinks he's a jokester.
Tyler Goodrum, out injured with Oxford United. Adoma Maku, 2 minutes in a 2-0 loss versus Oxford.
Playing against himself, was he?
Yeah, he must have. Well done, Dave. Johnny Kenny, 90 minutes in a 1-0 loss versus Port Vale for Bolton. And Owen Eldon was not in the squad for Hibernian.
This side, he was in the squad.
Malenik Ali, 75 minutes, 6-1 loss versus QPR. And Harvey Vale, 95 minutes and 2 assists in a 6-1 win versus Portsmouth. So a few corrections there, Connor.
The Disney FC thing, I was going to say that's probably the funniest thing he's ever done on the podcast, putting Disney FC, but he ruined it by putting Aidan Momaku was playing against himself and Owen Elding wasn't. For some reason, anyone that was on the bench, he seemed to just put they weren't in the squad. Yeah, that's funny. But I think I know why he wants Harvey Veal to be involved this week. Is because he sees the assist and he thinks, oh, he's great. But yeah, the shiny new toy. Dave's a fan of being a victim of that sort of thing. But yeah, the weekend for our attackers quite quiet. Fortunately, Martin, we are riddled with injuries. As Nick says, Elding literally played. Yes, we know that, Nick. Dave just has lost a few shillings in his head at the moment. God knows where he's gone. He's probably out in the drink. Yeah, it was other than Harvey Veal, it was quite a quiet weekend. It was good to see Ida back on the bench. I don't know if he was in a similar position to Boston, because I don't know if you were looking at that game. They lost 3-0 to Coventry. They were 3-0 down after 43 minutes, which makes me think, were they thinking, well, the game is gone, are we better off leaving Adam and letting him have this kind of game off and let him do the runs to do after the game, to just fitness runs, keeping the fitness going, or the better him just let him do straight line running rather than risking possibly the hamstring going again. And the thing is, Ada would have made sure that he's back in time for these international games, and maybe they felt that maybe it was too soon to risk him in a game that kind of the tie was dead after less than 45 minutes. Yeah, and like the likes of Festy, disappointing that obviously he's suspended still, which is really annoying. Although last Monday we because we didn't do a live last Monday, didn't we? Not Martin.
No.
We did a video during the day that evening. Sammy Smodix went and scored for Derby, which was good to see him get. It was a lovely finish as well. So fair play to him getting a big goal. Actually, you said he was going to be one of the most important players for Ireland this window. But nice if your point is backed up. And yeah, obviously Harvey Vale got 2 assists. No one else really had a weekend to note. Like Tom Cannon can't get minutes at all. Sinclair came on off the bench at halftime. Should have got an assist, but like he needs to be scoring really to get into this team. Like no, it was just depressing weekend, Martin. Not much happening. I was thinking earlier, I'm really actually looking forward to this May camp. I was saying to a couple of lads, like this Granada fixture, I'm actually buzzing for it, even though we have the biggest games ever. I'm buzzing for the fact of thinking the nerd in me and the football nerd about what 23-man squad he's going to pick with all these new names and lads that really haven't got their chance to come into the squad in late May. Like it'd be so, I think it's going to be class going to a game and seeing 11. The kind of like the team will probably be the likes of Andy Moore and Sinclair, Tom Cannon, Jack Moylan, Luke O'Connell, Heidi Mako. So it'll be loads of lads in getting their opportunity, which I think is going to be, I think it'll be class as a fan point of view. But obviously getting to World Cup's more important. But I think I just like the whole, maybe I'm a victim of the shiny new toy thing, but I just like to see new Irish players doing well.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for your comments so far and supporting the pod, of course. And yeah, there's been some very interesting comments. We will get to all of them as well. We want to be the most interactive Irish football podcast out there. So again, I'm going to give them a shout out to our amazing sponsors, Slattery's of Beggars Bush. We're going to be there on match day for the final. So we're going to be in the final on Tuesday on the 31st. We're going to be there from the afternoon. So if you want to pop in there for a home of the match day pint, please do. And also check out Travel Igo. They can sort out your trip to America when we qualify. But they also do Champions League, Europa League, any kind of game you want to go to. So if you want to just check out them, all their trips, Premier League football as well, you'll be able to book your amazing trip. They do horse racing, golf, and everything. So fantastic company to kind of have a look at as well. I've also just recently just put our own comment in there, just to let you know about our little fanzine that we've got done. Fantastic work from James and David from obviously the show, who've kind of compiled a fantastic fanzine that gives lots of great tips about Czechia, some brilliant articles as well, some fantastic contributions. Bill has contributed to that as well. Our very own Conor has. And thank you as well to some of our sponsors of that, because it's gone down really, really well.
And thanks to Grode, to Ben, to the other Conor. Martin, you think you'd know at this stage?
The real Conor. I hadn't finished. You just rudely interrupted me again. I'm just saying.
Yeah. You're one of the sponsors before thanking other people. To cheek you.
I'm just saying the fantastic feedback we've had. And it has lots of tips for obviously about Czechia, about the game, about Irish football in general. It's gone down really, really well. So thank you for your support of that as well. Do share it far and wide. Let us know as well. A little question for the Raw faithful watching along this evening. If you're not in Prague, where are you watching it? We'll give a shout out to your pub or whatever you're watching this evening. Let us know where you are going, and if you're also going on Tuesday, where we might be able to see you in Slattery's of Beggars Bush. Right, Conor.
Just on your fanzine, the link to it is now in the description. It should have been in there anyway. It's in the description. If you want to read our fanzine, just click the link. You'll see it in the description of the video.
Fantastic. Right, Conor. Ireland are obviously in action on Thursday. We're looking forward to it, of course, massively. Like traveling over now. But safe journey to everyone traveling, of course. We'll be sure to meet up with as many of you as possible. It's going to be absolutely manic over there, of course. But Ireland have got some other international games as well. And we like to follow all of the teams, of course. But so we're going to follow the under-21s are in action, aren't they? So do you want to have a quick chat about them?
Yeah, if you want to pick them up.
Okay.
If you want to pull that up, Martin. The 21s are obviously, that's the 17s.
That's 17s. And check the graphics.
That's 19s.
Where's the under 21s? Here we go. There you go. Just trying to promote you. There you go. Under 21 squad list for the upcoming Euro qualifiers versus Moldova and Kazakhstan. There you go.
Yeah, massive. cannot wait to see the lads back in action again. Unfortunately, obviously, it does. The big problem with it is it clashes with the
Mm.
seniors quite a bit. 5:15 on Thursday, which is only 2 hours really before the big game, and then on Tuesday they play Kazakhstan away at 3 p.m., which isn't actually too bad. But if we're in the final, a lot of people's distractions will be elsewhere, and obviously St. Talis, so people in Dublin usually there's better crowd in Cork, so um, it'll be interesting now. Come Thursday what the attendance is in Tallaght. But yeah, obviously another very talented squad. First call ups for Jade Nume, Adam Brennan, Sean Patton, and Aaron Ochoa Maloney. So which is really exciting. Four really, really exciting players who are all excellent footballers. Um Obviously the standout one there that people probably get excited by is Jade Nume because he's a real special talent with the ability he has athletically and technically. He could be a game changer for Ireland in I think the near future rather than the long term. And yeah, Sean Patton's doing excellently well. At Reading scored a lot of goals on loan at Aldershot, and obviously Adam Brennan. Been absolutely brilliant for Shamrock Rovers, probably the young player of the year so far in the League of Ireland. Probably everyone would probably agree with anyway, and definitely in the Premier Division. Been absolutely brilliant, deserved that. And an hour and a show has been playing week in, week out. With Malaga for 3 years now. We started off in the third tier, now they're back in the second tier, competing at the very top of the second tier and the Segunda. So yeah, he's doing really, really well. Attacking midfielder, can play out on the left as well. So really exciting. Great to see actually Sam Curtis come back in this time around. He's been out of the fold so far, all the qualifiers. That wasn't getting minutes at Sheffield United at the start of the season, gone out and loan to Chesterfield, and doing excellently well at Chesterfield at the moment. Really, really doing well. And starting to really show that he belongs in England and showing that he's more than ready to play at that level. Corey O'Sullivan obviously comes back in as well from Shamrock Rovers, been probably the standout young, probably left centre back / left back in the League of Ireland over the last year or so. Probably been overdue return to the squad. Gabriel Otacabeo as well at Sheffield Wednesday is also back in. Playing week in, week out with Sheffield Wednesday in the Championship. Obviously, it's been a really tough year for them, but he's a player that's grown a lot over the course of the season and improving week on week. And someone that age, he's kind of taken advantage of the transfer embargo, the lack of money of funds that he's got a chance to come in and play week in, week out. And yeah, they're all then obviously Michael Noonan comes back in, but he was with the 17s in November. It wasn't that he was dropped; it was they prioritised the World Cup. So yeah, it's a really exciting squad. It's just a pity the games clashed on the same day. Because if it was on the Friday in Tala, I think it would do quite well in terms of attendance. But yeah, I'm looking forward to now seeing how the lads doing. Hopefully, they need 6 points. It's 6 points or bust really at this stage. For them after the last window, and I think they will get 6 points. I back them. There's so much talent in that group.
Okay. I mean, yeah. Look, I mean, I'm going to throw up a couple of comments. Obviously, tonight's show is predominantly going to be about the senior team. I'm going to get through all your comments. Obviously, this massive game coming up in Czechia, but the under 21s, we like to focus on that as well. Got a couple of questions for you, Conor, on his. Does Ume have a chance of getting serious minutes in these games? Asked Nick. And also, Ume is a player of throwing against Grenada. Why not? Not sure we've ever had a talent like him, says Bo McCarthy. Great comments. And we do know that Jaden is one who is seriously rated, isn't he? So I think if you do have an opportunity to get to Tala, make sure you do go and see if you can support the lads as well, because you'll see an incredible generation of talent coming through for Ireland, and they're going to be household names coming through. So brilliant that is. So Conor, in answer to the question, do you reckon we're going to see him in action?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he'll get plenty of minutes. They probably won't start him straight away because probably they play Trent on the left. Unless they play Trent on the right, but I would be shocked if they started him on Thursday. Although, if I was a manager, I probably would just start him because I know how good he is. But yeah, I think Jaden will get massive minutes, of course, 2 games. Yeah, and then obviously, did you read that the Bo McCarthy one? Yeah, you did, didn't you? About throwing in against Granada.
Yeah.
As far as I'm aware, I think the Portuguese calendar is still on. And I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up making his first team debut by the end of the season and getting minutes in the first team. So if he's not in the first team though, and he's still an underage setup, I would be bringing him in because I'm sure Benfica would be happy to kind of let him go play for Ireland international football over kind of underage academy Portuguese football. Although it's obviously great for his development, I think nothing would be better than getting him his international debut at 18, which I think we all know at this stage 18 is not that young for a football player anymore.
Okay. Right. And we're going to just have a look at the under 19s as well, who are also in action. Anyone of note from this one?
Obviously, Martin, this is the team that got to the round of 16 in under 17 World Cup in November. It's strange. It's actually not an under 19s, it's under 18s. It's their under 19s are starting early. They've changed the format that it kind of there's 3 rounds of qualifying now, and it's basically under 18s, which is interesting. And yeah, new call ups this time round for Luke Cullen of St. Pat's, Sean Murphy, UCD as well. Um, Mo Oladiti was in the last 19s. He's come into this group as well. Charles Akron and Toyo, although he was quite involved in the qualifiers, he didn't make the World Cup squad. He's in. Chris Atherton from Chelsea, obviously we spoke about him switching from the north to the south. He's in for the first time. Billy O'Neill is back involved as well. Obviously he does definitely deserve his form over with Bray over the last couple of seasons. And Killian Tollett from Lansdowne, obviously he's known from Galway, another really exciting young player who was injured, kind of ruled him out from coming into the World Cup squad. He's back in as well. Obviously, probably the big issue with them is they've lost a couple of the key men. Obviously, Jade Nume is gone to 21. So was Michael Noonan. Vinny Leonard is out injured. So was Max Kovalevskis. Victor Ojenvuna we'll speak about the 17s. He's gone down to 17s because I think they're prioritising having players in their own age group this time around, and because the 70s qualify for the Euros and the World Cup, and we've seen what that opportunity and platform gave those lads last year. But yeah, it's still really, really exciting squad, a lot of talent. A lot of the bulk of the 17 squad from the Euros is still there. Very, very strong midfield and very strong defensive unit. And yeah, so it's just about can they score the goals this time around without obviously Jayden and Michael, because they're so it's not even a thing that because all those players are absolutely brilliant and excellent. It's just kind of been so used to since under 15s having, when you have someone like Jayden Nume on your team, you kind of just give him the ball and kind of let him see what he can do. And then obviously Michael Noonan as well, who's unbelievable talent. It'll just take a bit of adjusting. And the thing is, they play Scotland, Poland, Italy. They play Poland this Wednesday, Scotland on Saturday, Italy next Tuesday. And the thing is, all you have to do is avoid top, not to be the way the format is you avoid finishing bottom, and then you go into the second round of qualifiers. But it's Ireland have got a quite difficult group because all those 4 nations are all strong nations. So it'll be interesting now what way it'll play out. But yeah, I'd back the lads, and hopefully, because it's played in Scotland, they've done a great job of streaming games in the past. So I'm hopeful that they might have contacted them. They said they weren't 100% sure yet either way. So hopefully we'll see a couple of streams for those 19 games, and we'll get to see those lads. Their first games on Wednesday against Poland.
Okay, right. And then finally, just a quick word on the under 17s. They're also in action.
Yeah, it's a really, really exciting team. We're really excited to see these lads. They play Poland as well on Wednesday, so it'll be 2 teams playing Poland on Wednesday in their first game, and then they play Slovakia and Croatia. So it's whoever finishes top goes straight into the Euros in the summer in Estonia. And as we seen last year, if you get 6 and good goal difference or 7.7 points, definitely would guarantee a place in the under 17 World Cup in November. And it's a really, really strong team. Obviously, George Maloney, Victor Ojenvuna are both involved in the World Cup squad, so they'll have that experience to come back in. Victor's first time back in with his actual 2009 age group, I think since under 16 level, because he's just been fast tracked into the older age group because he's been that good for Rovers. But yeah, really strong squad. Dara Brunton and George Mully, 2 excellent keepers. Maxi Macfadden has been promoted to 17s, first time, really, really highly rated right back. And is not that long back from injury. Danny Burke as well, another full back from Shamrock Rovers. Glenn Ilunga is called up for the first time to Ireland at any level. He signed for Burnley at the end of 2025, was an ex-Pats player, moved over with his family to Manchester and is signed with Burnley and is doing excellent there so far. And no surprise, he's been called up a brilliant defender, can play in midfield as well if needed. Actually, Sean Spieth as well was Sean Spieth was in the World Cup squad. He was kind of a late call up into it, but yeah, it's another of his 3 lads experience in it. And then the midfield, I think the midfield in this group has a lot of players that could go on and have huge careers. Obviously, Victor's the one that everyone knows of so far. Killian Murphy, I think, is probably not just young player of the year in the first division so far this season. I think he's actually the player of the season. I know people who might in the comments who watched the first. I think Killian Murphy's the player of the season so far in the first division at 16. He's an absolutely unbelievable player. He's magic in his feet. And can do everything really. And off the ball, on the ball, he's absolutely brilliant. And then you have obviously Tom McGrath with him as well at Cork. Joshua Dwyer at Shamrock Rovers is probably the most talked up Irish prospect, and I've seen in a long time. The hopes for him are astronomical at the moment. But obviously he's still a kid and he's playing in the age group up, so he's 2010 in this 2009 age group. But he's a player everyone has high hopes for. But you just have to let him develop and hope he continues to go at the rate he's going at, because you do see a lot of early developers. Harvey Veal is an example of that. He was a massive early developer and kind of slowed down in recent years. And then the Pats trio there, Ryan Sheridan, Jason Spellman, and Keane Quigley are all really highly rated players. I think Forrest are interested in a lot of them. Keane can play centre half as well, which I wouldn't be surprised if he does play centre half for them this week. And then the forwards are really exciting as well. Des Armstrong is back in for the first time in under 17 level. Celtic Symphony, I love to hear he's Sinclair's brother. I'm sure people know that. He signed for FC Lorient in January from Rovers, and he's back in for the first time. I think if you've seen a picture of him, you'd know he's Sinclair's brother. They're the image of each other. Another physical monster. Joe Byrne at Pats, really highly rated winger, an excellent player. Has a lot of interest from other English clubs. David Dunn, the real David Dunn from Monaco. Another brilliant winger as well. He's flying as well, that he could make a real impact this go round. And then there's obviously Joey Woona is another winger at Shells, and he was on the bench for the first team a couple of weeks ago. Was it actually last week? I think it was in the Dublin Derby. So it shows how highly he's thought of at Shells. And then they have two strikers that are two bow strikers that have really, really high ceilings in Hugh Martin and Josh Harper. Josh Harper was just on trial at Como, who want to sign him, but I don't think that deal will end up happening. But yeah, Josh Harper and Hugh Martin. Hugh's played for the first team a couple of times this season. And the two Bows are in a real nice position, having two top strikers like that. So it's a really exciting squad that although their group is tough, because Poland, Croatia, Slovakia, it's one of those groups that you can back yourself to go and beat all three teams and qualify for the tournament in the summer, and then possibly get to the World Cup. Or if you get to the tournament, you get to the World Cup, or probably say World Cup first and then you try and get to the tournament as well, because it's only 8 teams allowed in the tournament, which is mad. But yeah, really exciting underage teams, and I'm looking forward to seeing how the next, what you'd say, week, 10 days plays out with them.
And that is why you have to follow Lansdowne Raw to hear the rep tracker himself chatting knowledge, spouting truth, spouting facts. Don't doubt him. Conor McAvoy, ladies and gentlemen, the rep tracker. That's the future of Irish football right there. Not you, Conor. Summarising.
I seen Rep Checker Keane scored the weekend.
Oh, he did? Yeah, he did. Yeah. He did. Good little goal, actually.
He made sure to tag me in it anyway.
I did, and he also went over to their linesman who disallowed his teammate's goal from his assist. So he wasn't happy, so he went and shushed him. Even though the linesman hadn't done anything of note, really. He just gave a really poor decision. So that was quite funny.
Wait, so his goal came after the slide goal, so he shushed in the celebration? Is that what it was?
No, he went over after he scored. He went over to the linesman and shushed him.
I was thinking,
and I went, that guy's said hardly anything all game. It was brilliant.
That's
very
funny.
comical. But yeah, good weekend for Enfield Town under 14s. Sponsored by Lansdowne Raw as well. Fantastic. We do like the grassroots football. We love the underage stuff as well. Just seeing the fantastic talent coming through of Ireland is incredible. So yeah, thank you, Conor, for that update. Keep your comments coming in, especially about the Ireland game coming up on Thursday. We're going to be there live from Prague, and lots of content coming. So make sure you do support the show, and we do really appreciate your support. Check out our fantastic fanzine as well. Really good content in there as well. And of course, we're going to have a chat now about the Ireland men's squad. Conor was in Dublin today. You may have seen this on the FAI channel already, but we'll be getting some clips up as well, and won't we, Conor, of your questions to I've seen already you've had a little bit of praise here. Your question to John O'Shea was the best one in the presser. Someone sucking up to you, perhaps looking for a ticket. But anyway, this is the squad, just to remind you all. The Ireland squad for the upcoming World Cup playoff versus Czechia first, and then the final against Denmark or North Macedonia. So the goalkeeper is going to be selected as follows. It was Quevin Kelleher, Mark Travers, and Josh Keeley. Defenders: Nathan Collins, Jacob Bryan, Seamus Coleman, Darrow Shea, Jimmy Dunn, Ryan Manning, Liam Scales, John Egan, James Abanqua, and Robbie Brady. The midfielders are Jack Taylor, Alan Brown, Finn Azaz, Harvey Vale, Boston Lowell, Jason Knight, and Jason Malumbi. And the forwards: Troy Parrott, Adam Eder, Johnny Kenny, Chidozie Ogbene, and Sammy Schmodix. That was our Ireland squad announced during the week. And you can go back and have a look at our reaction show to that. We had a good chat in depth about Heimer and his pretty justification in a way for some of the selections. So Conor was there in Abbottstown, asked some fantastic questions then as well of Heimer, especially in relation to James Abanqua and his Heimer.
Before, because there'll be more people watching this, so you're going to end up getting called out more for your pronunciation.
Yeah. Okay. Who's the lad who we left out? Omo. Listen. Okay. Heimer. Jaden. Is it Jaden as well? Who's the funny names are the ones on it? Jaden Ume? Is that it? A different one now? Yeah. And Omo Bamadelli, which Dave struggled for a long time. Chidozie, he struggled with that one as well. But anyway, so yeah, happy with
one. Abanqua was the big one. It's a pity because he definitely would have said a Wankpa the other night. 100% he would have said a Wankpa because he hasn't said it in so long.
Yeah. Let us know your comments. Are you happy with the squad? Who do you think should start? Perhaps we will be doing lots of shows, obviously in the build up to Thursday, where we're going to give our team predictions. Of course, myself and Conor also have a video coming out tomorrow where we combined our best 11 from the 2017 playoff, where we unfortunately lost to Denmark, and the current squad as well. We combined, and I picked a better team than Conor, as you'll see tomorrow when that's revealed and released.
So thanks for spoiling what the video is.
Well, what's the matter?
They
might want to watch it now. They know, mightn't they?
Yeah, if you're watching 46 minutes in, so you're fair play to you.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So Conor, you're up in Abbottstown. How was the vibe around the place? The lads, I saw the FAI before I get your answer to that question. Saw the vibe from camp. They brought in obviously the new shirts. I've seen a comment asking me about this one. No, it wasn't sent by Sky. This is actually not a obviously match worn one, but it's a one I purchased, not for myself, for my son Kian, the Real Rep Tracker. But yeah, I wanted to see up close the shirt, and yeah, I like it actually. It's nice. But yeah, it wasn't a gift. It was an expensive purchase basically, and you might have seen my thoughts on the cost of some recent merchandise and interview I gave to the Irish Times recently. That was in relation to St. Patrick's kind of stuff they had launched along the clubs. The fan. What was it? The fan launch stuff. What was it called?
Fanatic stuff with like Everton, Leeds.
That was it. Yeah. I gave my views, my forthright views. Anyway, I do have. That is a match issue Troy Parrott one from the Hungary game. I just thought I'd give a mention to that again. Anyway, Conor, you're in Abbottstown. How was it? The vibe's good in camp. How's you expect?
Yeah. Buzzing. Yeah, everyone seemed really good form. Like I've been going through a stage of being real nervous over the last couple of days because looking at that Czech team and it's actually quite strong. Sulic is very good. Patrick Schick, obviously, Kufal, Suchek. They were a really strong team, like overall. And I've been thinking, oh fuck, they're actually quite good in their home record. But then when being up there today at the pressers, like it just seems like a team full of confidence. The managers are very confident. John O'Shea is really confident. They just backed themselves. Like Collins was speaking very well about it. Obviously the other two players that were in, I don't know if I can actually say the word because it's kind of embargo, but yeah, those two were quite. No, I can't. Harvey Vale and John Egan, and they were all seemed really confident. Harvey Vale's obviously come in late, and yeah, so even like addressing the midfield situation, and Collins was very happy with the midfielders we have, and yeah, it was real positive. There's not much really to say because there wasn't really much given away as such of what we expect or how we expect, but like maybe we expect Czechia to go with 3 at the back because this manager and what he's done at clubs he's been with, because obviously this is going to be his first game as national team coach, so it'll be kind of the element of unknown, or he'll just stick really to what he's done. And like as Hamer said last week, he's a 74-year-old experienced manager, but he's never really managed at the highest level of any, like Czech football is the highest he's been at, never been international football, so it'll be an element of unknown for him as well. So yeah, it was real positive. I don't think there was any negative vibes at all out of it. So yeah, there's not really much to add in that, Martin, because
I liked it. I mean, in the past, people have been critical of why is John O'Shea? Why do you have your assistant manager in there? But Keith Andrews did him in the past. Roy Keane did him in the past as well. I think it's just more commonplace now that your assistants can sometimes step up and do press conferences and things like that. But I think John O'Shea, having been there, put the medals on the table, he's got experience around the camp, understands the Irish sense of it as well. I think it's fantastic having him in there. I think he brings a bit of kind of lightheartedness to it as well. Because I think that's a big focus of it should be as well, like keeping the lads relaxed. And it's interesting how he kind of alluded to it being like a cup final week, that all the players are trying to fight for a starting position, and the buzz around the place, they know they're on the verge of greatness in a way, and I think that's amazing. But I liked it that he was talking about Collins being out of the squad with Brentford with injury and things like that, and Collins and saying that was by design. We'd had a word with Keith Andrews to kind of give him a rest and things like that. They wanted the lads to get through these last few weeks. We've been counting down the days, of course, to Czechia, and obviously the playoff final as well, hopefully. And you just waiting for everybody to be fit. I mean, we've been doing big and seeing injuries, and we've been talking about lads being out, not playing, not getting minutes. I think the trust is there within this group, and I think they're glad they've got most of them there in one piece and they can manage them. So I think it's going to be really interesting now to see the next few days how that kind of pressure rises. Obviously, lads are going to be travelling over to Prague, going to be training in the stadium. There'll be press conferences, which we'll have covered here completely on Lansdowne Raw as well. So looking forward to it. Make sure you do.
And if you're on the streets of Prague, make sure you check out socials, because Reptracker may be roaming the streets on Wednesday. So,
okay, wait.
Well, Dave will be roaming the streets. Well, Dave will be roaming the streets with sweets, but I'll just be roaming the streets. But
lock up your. It's a message for our Czech friends. Lock up your daughters.
All right. That's a bit too.
I can't believe you've gone there.
What an animal! Kicked up. You're going to get us kicked off air here. We're going to get channel banned on YouTube after this.
Anyway, no, we're going to be chatting to the Irish fans on the streets, is what you'll say. So yeah, you're not.
Just don't let Dave beat one of. Just let it be me and Martin.
Yeah. So if you are around the bars and everything around Prague, make sure if you do see us, have a chat with us. Don't be shy, and yeah, it'll be good. And because we'll be having a good crack again. Yeah. Seeing some of these comments coming in. Right. Are we on to what we were chatting about, Conor?
We were just talking about the squad there, but yeah, nothing's. I think just positive. Obviously, no injuries, nothing. All positive. Really good stuff. Nothing negative coming out of camp. Everyone's fully fit. Troy didn't train today, either Liam Scales, but that was because they didn't play the other night, or they played yesterday, so they didn't train. So they had the day kind of off to recover. But yeah, it was a real positive movie out of camp. Really, that was all the vibe you got out of today, really. But yeah, though, make sure you check out our pressers with part 2, the embargo section, because we released the first part of Collins and O'Shea today, which you may have seen on the channel. But the embargo is out at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. So obviously, whenever you wake up in the morning, have a look at that. And on Tuesday at 1 p.m. tomorrow, John Egan's one will be out, which is an interesting listen. And then Harvey Veal is Wednesday, which is probably the best lot just to learn more a bit about Harvey Veal. There's lots of saying. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to people seeing them later in the week, as we build up to the match, and obviously we'll be there and at the stadium and the presser and doing our preview and that usual shite that we do. But yeah, it's exciting. These comments are making me laugh.
I think you mean.
But yeah. So make sure you're tuned in, Martin. But yeah, obviously because we're building up, and we'll probably be going into the comments now. We're on 36 likes on YouTube right now. Get us to 50 in the next 5 minutes, please.
Yeah, come on now, Raw Faithful. Don't let us down. And yeah, because we're obviously building up towards an incredible week in Irish football. So we're going to get through to a bit of the show. There's obviously a lot of context to describe on some of this stuff, but this is the bit I do enjoy the most. Your comments, and here we go. Okay, and before we do get into your comments, please, if you'd like to support the show, you can do so as well by subscribing to Lansdowne Raw Plus. That's $4.99 a week, $4.99 a month in any currency that you pay, and that's where you get extra content for your Raw. And we also have some fantastic coasters and our sticker set as well. That's available on our club shop, Etsy, and you can check that as well. And it's not Etsy, is it?
No, it is Etsy. The link is in the description.
The link is in the description of the show.
Yeah,
which I always get wrong.
Just if you're a Raw Plus, there's be extra content around it now. Obviously, international break. So make sure if you're subscribed to be subscribed for this week coming, because we do have more content than that for Raw Plus subscribers.
Some of the stuff that may not be safe for general consumption.
Right now, you're actually going.
No, I don't mean
after what you spoke about 5 minutes ago. It's wait to the next video.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Here we go. Your comments. Right. Thank you again for your support this evening. Here we go. The first one, straight in there straight away at Killian MG7. Come on, you boys in green. Jason Conor says the excitement and his anticipation for this game is like Christmas Eve when you were 6 times 1,000. Yeah, agree completely. And Celtic, long time supporter of the show, says you can feel a sense of hope.
Fantastic.
Very well done. Yeah. Erin Cabral says we have the beating the Czechs. Come on, you boys in green. And that is also echoed by Prince Ash Official, who also says, come on, you boys in green. I reckon Conor is delayed because he's been waiting outside Boston the Wells hotel room to get his autograph, says Erin Cabral. We do have this. Well, I've there's comments to come on me. I mean, we do have this kind of, what is it? Is it a reputation that we...
of what, being affiliated to players and stuff?
Yeah.
Or not being affiliated, not even affiliated, just being fanboys. But we're just not right in the head. We're probably people say we're too much of fanboys, and then Dave's too much of a hater.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I just like supporting it all and looking forward to following Ireland around the world and having a crack and win or lose, enjoying ourselves. That's it, really. No, not that, because I don't want Roy Keane coming for me. Celtic Symphony, where is David Dunn? Well, we've said that. Well, Dave is going to be en route. Well, I'm sure he'll be packing now, actually. He'll be en route very shortly to Prague. So make sure you check out all his content as well on Lansdowne Road and also Lansdowne Raw, of course. Evening Gent says PJ McDish. I'm going to say Dish, even though I can't be bothered putting D125. Shame not to see Mark Sykes getting a call. Good Belfast head like myself. Okay, welcome along, PJ.
He's had a good season. He's just been a victim of being thrown from position to position, and probably stats wise, he probably doesn't what his hammer wants, I'd say.
Okay. And Rory says, David, what's he at? As I said, getting ready for Prague. He needs his little rest, and if he was in Mick McCarthy's Ireland squad in 2002, he would be happy to go to Saipan for the rest and recuperation and relaxation and getting acclimatized. That's what Dave does in the build-up for a very, very busy week, because he can't cope with the hustle and bustle when he's in there. He'll have a little rest, of course, as well. But yeah, he'll be well on form for these games. Do not worry about that. Daniel Mullen says, this is the most excited I've been for a Republic of Ireland game since against France in Euro 2016. Come on, you boys in green. Yeah, okay. Fantastic game. Yeah, it was exciting, that one, I must admit. My pal Conor, hello, says PJ. And that is the
PJ,
one.
What's the crack?
That's his Taylor Swift and Sean St. Ledger. I love that. Realistically, who would provide more into this team, Johnny, Kenny, or Didsey? It's a joke, says Good of Cod.
Depends what you're looking for.
Yeah, look, I mean, a couple of weeks ago, I was all for Didsey just with the injuries troubles we had. I was all for Didsey getting the call up, and I know I obviously spoke to him. John O'Shea kind of sound him out, apparently. But Johnny Kenny, I think, probably deserves to be in that squad for what he has done for Ireland so far. You know, he has had an impact in Hungary. He did, like, he nearly scored the goal, and I don't know it's nearly, but I think if he gets a bit more time on the pitch, you never know. We're going to create a hero, I think, over in Czechia. And we have a habit of that in Irish history for football.
No, but it's not even, it's the type of striker. Like,
oh yeah, I know he's in the box. Yeah, it's different. For
being like his runs in behind and his work
Yeah.
rate and what he can offer going in behind, was Didzy at this stage of his career is more just giving it into his feet and holding
Mm.
and obviously scoring goals. But like, I think Kenny's in it for it in behind.
Yeah. Okay. Daryl O'Connor says, "Hey Daryl, how you getting on? Lads, I'm absolutely buzzed for Thursday night, but part of me is savouring the days for while we still have hope. I think we can do it. The nerves will be gone Thursday." Yeah. Nick says, "Feed the parrot and he will score." PJ also says, "If we can get to the final, lads, we have every chance. If it's Denmark, so be it. That Hoyland boy is a cod."
Don't be saying. No, I hate when people say this on the lead up to the international break, because what happens is
No. Yeah, I can't have
everyone
that.
done it with fucking Vout Weghorst. Remember when everyone was doing about how
Yeah,
crap he was, and
yeah.
then he went and scored
No,
against
that's
us. He
it.
scored
You
twice.
can't. Yeah, you can't be mentioning. Don't mention names. Just say they're shite. Because even like in the build-up, we were thinking, and I was secretly hoping Schmeichel might be playing for them. But then he'd probably have a worldie or save a penalty or something like that. That's the thing.
And I think,
Yeah,
and I think
I've
he was
learned that
on
over the
about
years.
and like he was speaking about all he wanted to do was be ready to play in the World Cup playoffs or Denmark, which I know if you're a Danish person, it sounds great, but Celtic fans were really pissed off about it. But like, that's what his priority was. Maybe he didn't want to dive as hard because he wanted to be 100% for them. But obviously they have Hermansen as their backup who plays every week for West Ham. Although I don't know if you've seen he made a really bad mistake at the weekend for West Ham, but I wouldn't really. If Keller had made a really bad, he actually nearly did make a bad mistake against Leeds the other day, and we wouldn't have been worried about it. We just been thought, yeah, you just move on.
Yeah. Okay. Daryl O'Connor also said, "If we win on Thursday, we're qualifying. Home advantage going to get us over the line." Yeah, I think that's going to be a big thing for me. I think if we get this win away, which is going to be really hard, but if we can get it back to Dublin, and just make it an absolute fortress and loud and just that's going to be intimidating, whatever way you look at it. And I think the Irish population, Irish fans, going to get massive. They'll be the hottest ticket in town, won't it? I mean, I know people have had to buy them already, in hope and anticipation that it's going to be a final. But yeah, it's going to be amazing, I think.
Well, every right they should be buying it in advance.
Oh yeah, no, I know that. Yeah, of course, yeah. So Symphony also says, "Go back to November and Lansdowne Road was full of kids wearing Ronaldo shirts. There's a new number 7 on the block, and he's not a rap. Oh,
he's not a rapper. Yes, Troy Parrott
as far as we know. Yeah, he's not.
But I do like that point. That is a well-made point by Celtic. He has become the darling of the country.
Yeah. And that's what we want. We want Irish heroes, as I've said. And I love the fact I've just shown the shirt off there now. Like you can buy that didn't happen 2 years ago. You couldn't buy the Ireland shirt with a name on the back, like legitimately through Castore or FAI shop.
Who was the last Irish Troy Parrott, if you get me? Like the kids kind of obviously Evan Ferguson when he first broke through, but you kind of need that moment in green. Was it Robbie Keane? Like was it? Like I don't even think it was like Robbie Brady, even as much as what he done in 2016 in the Euros was great. That was just the moment of the goal. I think if it could have been anyone, sort of thing. But I think Troy Parrott done it with the 5 goals in 2 games, and he was nowhere number 7. He's a striker. He's the type of player everyone kind of loves in that sort of number. Everyone, one of your number 9 scoring goals, like what he's done. Like, was it Robbie Keane? Is he the most beloved player since Robbie Keane?
I would say there was a bit of love though for Robbie Brady in a sense because of obviously the playoff away game goal, and then but it wasn't as it hadn't.
I don't think it's
kind of
near
got us
as
there,
this.
and then maybe 2016, just that he was the one who scored the goals. Shane Long was never really, but again, my point stands on this. If you can't buy a kid a shirt with the player's name on the back, they can't pretend to be the player. So that's the thing. You can wear number 7 because you love number 7, and a lot of Irish fans kids would just have number 7 on the back because of Ronaldo in a sense of any shirt. They'll want number 7 because number 7 is or number 10, of course, another famous number. But yeah, it's an interesting question though. Yeah, Robbie Duffer maybe. Didzy was never. Duffer maybe.
Didzy was a
World
cult
Cup.
hero. Because like the thing is like that's like Duffer's that's too old for even like my generation. Like
yeah,
like
no,
my generation.
Your
but even like my generation, like it was almost we caught the tail end of Robbie Keane's careers. Like my most vivid memory of Robbie Keane really playing up front for Ireland was kind of. Do you remember he scored a hat trick against Gibraltar in a 7-1 win?
Yeah,
like that's kind of my memories of Robbie Keane. It was LA Galaxy Robbie Keane whilst he was still a top striker. He was doing it at a club. It was like still doing. It was kind of at the same time. It was like
Yeah.
he's doing it for
Yeah.
Ireland.
So there's
But
not been one since him then. There's not
no,
been the kind of
my generation, there's been no one. Like there's not been anyone.
and yet that was the argument I said as well. Like Bazzuni, when he saved the Ronaldo penalty, everyone knows
Yeah,
Ronaldo's penalty was saved by Bazzuni.
Ronaldo, yeah.
So why could you not get the shirt? Kind of thing. That was my point many years ago, which I was nearly sued over. Another story which I'm happy to share with anybody I meet over a beer in Prague because I still go on about that.
You can buy us all a beer.
I could have with my saved legal
Did-
costs because I didn't have
Did
to
you know
defend myself.
Prague is the beer capital of the world?
Is it? I've been there
Yeah, I
before.
heard it on the
I didn't
radio on the
realise.
way home today.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, I've heard that. Okay. Fran David Sharkey says, fingers crossed we can get the result. Come on, Ireland. Laser Live says, as we know in this campaign, if we beat the Czechs, we're guaranteed a red card for the opposition in the Aviva. Yeah, incredible record that is. I mean, that's something that's amazing. Dave, this is Brendan just saying, what a week to have a colonoscopy. Poor Dave. Maybe. Don't give that. I was going to say anything. Don't give him any more attention. Good of Cod says, would you say Schmonik would start having a personal chat before the call up and he was starting every game before his injury? I don't think so.
No. It would be very strange to see him. Unless he went, like, remember we played Finland away and he went kind of a 4-4-2 really that day. Played Darrow O'Shea right back. And played him on the left. But I don't think so, to be honest with you.
Okay. This one is it true the away fan allocation for the Aviva will be changed and away fans will be taken out of the North Stand? Yeah, we've seen that's been released over the last few days. This was something suggested by Hamer quite a while ago now. And, I was kind of skeptical of if they could do this because of season ticket allocations and things like that. But if you are sitting in the Aviva Stadium and you're sitting on the halfway line with the benches either side, of course, down to the left of you to the lower end without the big stand, of course, so that bit there, that's usually was the away end, but it'll just be there tucked to the left. That's the bottom left of the West Stand.
Yeah, so
That's where
really
they will be. I think that whoever is coming to Dublin I think it's about 600 is all they've taken ticket wise. So it's not an awful lot, which is shocking.
No, it's
really.
It's terrible, isn't it?
Yeah, and again, it hopefully will be empty. They'll be walking out after 20 minutes. Here we go. Good of God. I remember the days when all of you were saying Troy Parrott doesn't suit international games, especially the big ones.
Don't say that. That was Dave. I remember specifically him going after fucking Finland away. Oh, because they've got big centre halves to play in the second tier. Poland.
We need to get stronger. Yeah,
no, don't. What Dave says does not. Don't. We never said that. We
do have individual opinions, by the way.
We do, just because Dave said something, and sometimes
the Irish King says, "Come on, Ireland." Yep, fair play. Rory says, "Here, what's the story of Lowell at all? The way you was carrying on, you swear we're off to getting the next Keane, so we are. No, I'd be having Browning from the start. Sure, he knows what to do. The Cork man."
Of course, he's saying that because he's a Cork man. Rory bye. No, but Lowell he's our future and he's our now. We all think he should really start, but like it just depends on fitness. Like I think it's quite clear that if he was playing every week, he would 100% would have started. No, nothing would have been made of it. So it's just whether he will start or not if he's considered fit enough. Because I think the clear perspective of it, Martin, is him or Hallgrimsson doesn't trust anyone else beside Jason Malumbi to that extent. Because I think we all know if Boston was fit, he would have. I do think he is fit, but I think like if he was playing, if he didn't get that hamstring injury and he just kept playing throughout February and March, he wouldn't have. It wouldn't have been a question. It's just whether can he play him from the start.
Okay, and here's one of Hamer's personal friends, Frank O'Connor, on his journey already. On my way to San Francisco Airport now. See you all in Prague. Yep, safe trip, Frank. Be great to see you. Catch up and have a few pints, of course. Yeah, but safe trip, as I said. And yeah, as my reference to him, me being best friends with Hamer, is that he met him at an Ireland game, and they had a good chat. And Frank was
Bulgaria, wasn't it?
So that, yeah. Absolutely brilliant. And he couldn't believe that Frank travels from America to watch Ireland, which is incredible. Laser Live. My problem with Kelleher feigning an injury is I thought it was real for a second because I wasn't paying attention and I shit myself thinking it was real.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
We all
was.
were the same. Like, in fairness, we all were the same. It was a terrible game, like for 8 p.m. on a Saturday, fucking Brentford against Leeds. I was lucky because I had League of Ireland was on Shells and Sligo, but it was even worse of a match, so it was just crap.
Okay. Cormac Keane says, lads, would you say the Hungarian players had more quality than the Czechs?
Individually, I would say their best players are better than the Czechs' best. Well, if you put the two best Czech players, which would say would probably be at this stage Sulek and Patrick Schick, compared to Szoboszlai and Kirkez, I would say that Hungarian's best because he's a proper world class midfielder. Like, he's unbelievable. Whilst I wouldn't say the other two for Czechia, but I think in general Czechia have a stronger team overall and have a better home record. So it'd be interesting now. But I don't know if you've seen Dermot O'Carroll, Carryman, who is coach at Sparta Prague, wrote a piece in the Irish Times actually talking about them and saying how strong they are, kind of individual quality, that they'll probably have more better team on paper, but kind of the Irish fight and spirit will make up for it, you'd hope. And like he thinks the managerial appointment was a really smart one. He's a real crafty manager, and stuff. So it was interesting. It's probably worth reading if you see it in the Irish Times. You'll see it online. It was a real good read. Just someone he's a coach at Sparta Prague and was obviously against Troy Parrott the last couple of weeks, and obviously didn't go well for them. But from a local perspective over there, it was good.
Okay. Yep. Certainly give that a read. Check it out. Nick says Brown is not a defensive midfielder. He's better at wing back.
Great.
Rory says Gav will obviously get in the squad, but haha. Kelly doesn't have the hard yard. Keeley, I think he doesn't have the hard yards in the game. Gag walks in over the fella. Good of COD. I'm seeing everyone predict both Malumbi and Knight as a midfield duo. What's the percentage chance he's picked? Let's say Bosson. I'm hoping Bosson. You're hoping.
What's the
Bosson.
percentage chance he's going to be picked? And you're going first because I know you'll just copy me.
I think he'll go for it. I think he will go for it, and I think because they're quite physical, and I think he's got to try and match that up a little bit. I think it's 75%.
I think it's between 40 to 50% chance he starts.
Well,
I think 75 is very confident. But you're saying he's very likely to start.
Well, look, I want to come on to why in a minute because we'll hopefully be in Prague early on during the day. We'll see the team going for a walk, and that's where I start making my case to Jaime as he comes out of Starbucks. Okay. PJ says all the chat about the boy Dennis Kirkin, and now he's going to play for Latvia. Another overhyped player, poor man's Ryan Manning. Drunken Sailor says Lowell has to start.
But just on Sirkin,
yeah.
Bill posted a really good video of him when he was in Latvia as a kid on holidays, obviously because his parents are Latvian, and he was going back to visit family and stuff, and he was speaking about training with Spurs and stuff, and his dream was to go and play for Latvia in the future. So it's kind of always been his goal, and I can't really disrespect say someone that wanted to go play for their country, and fair play to him. I know his father passed away as well a couple of years ago, so it probably means even more to him to go and represent his heritage now. So I don't think we can really bat an eyelid and just wish him the best of luck, because the reality is he was just born in Ireland. There's no connection really there.
Okay. Yeah, I do. I echo that as well. Yeah, wish him the best of luck. It's his decision, and he's got to be fully respected for that. Celtic Symphony says, find the talk of Brady starting absolutely bonkers. Manning was one of the finest players in qualifying. He's nailed for me. I believe, judging by the app Foot Mob, he's having a fine season too. Other football apps also exist.
But I would say you are spot on, Mr. Symphony. But no, yeah, I think you're spot on. Who was it? Keith Tracy said, and Kenny Cunningham. Did you see their teams they made? Jesus Christ, some of the teams they put together over the next couple of days. Fucking hell. But I know Keith Tracy.
Dave's wants to come.
No, theirs is worse because at least Dave's has a bit of balance. Theirs are absolute. Theirs is a disaster. Kenny Cunningham wants Ireland play like a 4-4-2 with Johnny Kenny and Troy Parrott up front together. Start Brady, start Lowell, start Knight instead of Malumbi. He's just lost the plot, Kenny. But Ferris seems like a decent fella. I don't have nothing against him. I just think some of his opinions, I think, are mad. And then Keith Tracy had Ryan. They're really starting that. Like, where is this? He's played 45 minutes all season. He's not going to start. And Ryan Manning has been one of our key players, and he's been every week in the championship and doing really well. And he's our set piece kind of specialist as well.
And he's contributed in all them games as well. Like,
he's
key
played
moments.
really well.
Yeah.
And so, like, although Brady probably will get like, I would be shocked if Brady doesn't play, of course, the 2 games. I think he will. I think it's nailed on to be Manning, and I think Celtic, you're right, it is nailed on in capitals.
Yeah. Okay. Kieran Marley says, since we last qualified for the World Cup, the pattern of not getting out of the group followed by a playoff defeat will have to be broken. Let's hope so. Yep. That is just that's how difficult it is to get to a World Cup, and that's why it will be so special when we do obviously get there. Nick also says, all of our midfielders are tiny bar wow. Sushik will just step on them. Need Boston to start. When I refer to him as King Boston, I've been ridiculed by Celtic here. He's half your age, Martin. Keep it in your boxes. Sounding like McAvoy now. Okay. Stephen Ring says, shocker. Club manager annoyed at player playing for their country. This is in relation to Mark Robbins, who doesn't want Boston Noel being called up by Ireland. Roberto Martinez was a bollocks when he was at Everton when it came to international breaks. Yep. Lots of rounds with Roy Keane, if I remember. Conor, any word on Kevin Zeffy finding a new club? Do you think Baller League could suit him?
Probably at this stage, yeah, to be honest.
Okay. And Winston Morrison says, Lowell has to start. Where's Omar Bamadeli? He got done dirty. James deserves the call up.
Oh, he means a Banqua. So, yeah, it's... I think it would have been between a Banqua and Omar Bamadeli for that last spot. But obviously, Banqua's versatility probably got him that spot.
And Fitzarelli says, surprised O'Dowda wasn't brought in. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one with old Cod. Lots of... I could have seen if he had got in, I wouldn't have been massively surprised because he has been playing in obviously Europe and stuff for them, but it's just inconsistently. And even that move over there, I was just thinking, why has that happened? And can you play week in, week out now? But he was, he was quite trusted by a lot of Ireland managers as a kind of squad player, and I think he just never really saw the promise he had. I think he, as a player, I've probably been disappointed in his progress in the sense that I think it kind of got coached out of him. All them attacking traits and things he had as a young player coming through, just he was moved around so many different positions, as I said, or as you'll see on the video that we're going to be releasing very soon when we talk about the 2017 team that took on Denmark in Copenhagen in the playoff. O'Dowda played there in that game and played like in a number 10 role. So it was just very inconsistent with Ireland, but I wouldn't have been as surprised if he'd been brought in. And I'm not even going to let you have a word on COD. Okay, we'll move on. Winston Morrison, Adam's back on the grass for weeks. He's cool to go. That's in relation to Adam Eder. So it's asked me, Prendy, did the FAI send you that shirt or were you made to purchase it yourself? Also, what size do I wear? Okay, it's not mine. It's a medium, that, by the way. But yes, it's my son's. Anyway, and if I was to wear some of the shirts I do buy of the players, they would be player fit. Did you get that one, Conor?
Player fit. Yeah, I heard that.
On me. Snug. Elding literally played, is what Nick says.
Yeah, Dave.
Okay. Oh yes. Sorry, that was in relation to that. Do you think? I know we've had. Oh yeah. Do you think Schmodix has a chance of starting, seeing or Benny has barely played for Sheffield United? Says users of 1UP. Conor?
Yeah, he'll play.
Schmodix?
No, he won't play.
Okay.
No, I thought you said like Benny. Like, yeah, he'll play. But now Smodix
has a chance of seeing Bonnet has barely played. That was the question.
Oh no, then yeah, no. I thought it was the other way around, but no, Benny will start and Smodix will be a sub and he might come on.
Okay. Rory says here, how is Jimmy Dunn in the squad over Bamadeli? It reminds me of that Roy Keane line about Jordan Henderson. God, Roy is a good crack. Does Jimmy show lads funny videos or have card tricks? No, I love Jimmy Dunn. I think he's very good around the squad, and that is exactly the point I know you're making. But I think, yeah, fantastic player as well. And I think I wouldn't have any hesitation if he came on and played. At YGNIR1, 5 hours until my bus to the airport. Come on, you boys.
That could be pronounced a very strange way, by the way.
Yeah.
That sounded very.
Yeah, YGNIR. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good luck. Enjoy the trip and safe journey, of course. Hopefully, we'll see you over there.
In the airport, son.
Yep. Dublin Drunken Sailor says, watching it in the green room beside Free Arena. Haha.
Good man.
Connor, you asked John O'Shea the best question at the presser. What did you ask him?
About what he's learned from Heimer in his time working with him. Have you not watched that?
No,
watched the presser?
No, that's
shake you.
I'll watch it tonight because I'll watch it tonight when I'm drifting off to your dulcet tones, or I might just listen to one of your 1,000 voice notes that you send me a day. Graham Mullen.
You act like you act like, and you're the one who sends them as well. Like
he knows not to send me them anymore, Dave. You send them to me. Sweet nothings. Graham Mullen, come on, Ireland. I will be watching in Vancouver. Days booked off here, and here we go. Yep, fair play. Best of luck. Keep watching them, and make sure, importantly, you subscribe to the channel and you watch us as well for the reaction, pre-match stuff, all that content coming your way. Of course.
I wonder what time it is to kick off in Vancouver, because I seen our good mate Neil once upon a tracksuit. 6 a.m. It kicks off Australia time. Can't remember where he's. I think he's in Perth. I don't know where he is.
And what is it though when we're playing in Vancouver in June? Are we playing Vancouver?
No, we don't play Vancouver. We play Montreal.
Oh, Montreal. Sorry. What time's that?
I don't know. It's like
God knows. Okay. Rifles says World Cup incoming. Come on, the boys in green. And he also says it's amazing to see the buzz again with the men's national team. Celtic also says in Dublin for the next week, looking for a spot to watch the game with some sort of atmosphere, as I couldn't get a ticket. Any suggestions? Not a fan of excess shouting or people in tracksuits.
Good question.
Well, Slattery is the home of the match day pint, of course, but we'll be busy.
Celtic.
Yeah. Okay. Now, Conan's very confident. He says we will definitely win on Thursday night. Good Cod recommends to Celtic UCD at the bowl. PJ says Celtic seeing Dublin lads in tracksuits is like seeing fish in the sea. This is why I love the show. Here comes Aaron. How you doing, Aaron? A very loyal supporter of the pod and a fantastic supporter of Lansdowne Raw Plus. Well, lads, great to listen to you as always. Can't believe it's only around the corner. The nerves will be kicking in. Enjoy Prague. Hopefully it'll be a night we will all remember. I'm jealous, lads. Would love to be in your shoes heading to the game. Enjoy it, lads. Looking forward to the away vlogs. Hopefully the three of you can be involved at more. And it's funny now looking back, we can all laugh. I watched back the vlog Conor and Dave did in Armenia, and you look so down and deflated like all of us now. Very true. Harrison says, evening, folks. I was absolutely flabbergasted on my work break to read the news of Halgrimsson's new contract. The first sunny day of the year was spoiled by a sudden cloud of darkness.
Harrison is going on
as well. It is a cowardly decision from the FAI. What is new there? To avoid the awkwardness of making the official announcement following this devastating loss in Czechia, they decided to announce it prior. Oh, that is so funny. Aaron also says, again, as a 23-year-old, I've never witnessed the buzz and excitement. I'm sure Conor and many others can relate. It's been pretty depressing. Hopefully a dream come true to watch the boys in green take over the World Cup. And he also says a question as well here. Who are your penalty takers? Pick 5. Mine is if all of them are playing at the end, obviously. Parrott, Adamida, Manning, Azaz, and Schmodix. Probably won't all be playing at the same time though.
Go on. My guess, because I think if it goes to 120 minutes, I don't think Azaz would last 120 minutes. I think Schmodix would definitely. I'd have definitely Parrott, Ida, Brady, because I think Manning would be taken. I'm trying to just presume that Manning would be taken off at that stage for Brady. What I'd have Ida, Parrott, Manning, or sorry, Brady, Schmodix,
Egan.
Shut up! He won't be on the pitch. Let me look.
I was trying to think.
Harvey Veal, because technically he's brilliant.
Well, let me look.
John Egan. John Egan will be an unused sub, man. Unless someone gets injured.
Unless you have, how many subs can you make?
5 and then one more in
5.
extra time. You can make a
Yeah,
6 in extra time.
that
But
he could.
I don't think they take any center. I think all 3 centre halves will just play 120 minutes. I think they're the one position no one gets taken
Collins
off
could
unless
take
there's
that
an
away.
injury.
Collins could.
No, I don't think so. I think it would be
Alan Brown would.
finishing on the finish. It would be Parrott, Ida, Smodics. That's 3. Harvey Veal and Robbie Brady. There you go. That's what the 5 would be.
Oh, right. There we go.
You like that reason, the player. I'm trying to think who would start.
I do. Yeah. I like it. Yeah.
Because his As wouldn't last 120 minutes. Either would Ryan Manning with Brady on the bench. If Brady wasn't on the bench, he would. Parrott will play 120 minutes. He'll not get taken off unless he gets injured. And then obviously Ida would come on off the bench at some stage.
Yep. Okay. All right. Very interesting question. I want to give that a bit more thought. And
Good question, Aaron.
Yeah, great question, Aaron. Thank you for your support, of course. PJ says, been seeing all these edits all over the shop this week. Really gets the blood pumping.
Fact. Have you seen them, Martin?
No. What's that?
People like the FAI made one. Matty made one from the FAI of like, it must be love with the back of them.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, they're class. Yeah.
Build up stuff. Absolutely. I love it. Yeah. Can't get enough of it. It's brilliant. And stealing of people's photos and videos is also very apparent in some of that as well. Yeah, it has happened. I've seen it. That's
sure.
That. Yes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, by other people, not the FAI, because FAI.
Yeah, not the FAI. No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah. No, the ones. Yeah.
Aaron also says, did you watch the documentary of Hamer from Dan McDonnell? I haven't watched it yet, but I watched the first 2 minutes of it and it looked really good. So I'm going to recommend.
Yeah, it is really good. Yeah.
Yeah. And he also says the Czechia lads were all suited up tonight. Where else are we? Nick says the Czech team is quite good, but their defense is quite old and slow. And Rory says, who do you reckon is the dream lad to bang one in and send us to the World Cup? So I'd say Coleman, the old warrior. Jesus, imagine. I mean,
I think it would be Coleman. Yeah, I think you're right there. I think it would be Coleman.
Yeah. What, the winning penalty? Or just a goal?
Just the goal. Imagine him not 119th minute celebration, top off, swinging around and tears his hamstring in the middle of the celebration, probably.
Or Martin says, any word on the fan scene in Prague? No, I've not had anything official. Maybe Conor has, but if we do get that information, fan zone,
yeah, we haven't heard.
No, and if we get that information, of course, we'll share it on all our social media platforms. So make sure you do give us a follow. Celtic asked me, will you be scrounging around the team hotel again this camp in your raccoon-like manner? Nunu. I was called Nunu. This is a very old reference to Teletubbies. Not about me, but Nunu was the Hoover went round, and someone called me Nunu once when I used to collect programs and things that were discarded.
Well, will you be going on a team hotel?
I will be for the Dublin game, yeah. Oh, I stay at the team hotel. Sorry about that. I like to treat myself. Work hard, play hard, Conor. Don't go near the parrot. You would not mix well. We need him in a good frame of mind. Oh, I like hanging out with my mate John. Rory says videos of you chatting to the fans would be savage crack. Yeah, go viral. So it would. Yeah, that's the intention. We'll be there. We've done it before. We'll do it again. We'll have a good chat. We've done it in smaller venues, smaller countries where there's not been many Ireland fans, and this one is where, again, lots of Irish fans are bound to be on the streets because they haven't got tickets, of course, but we will be there in Prague. We're delighted to do that. That's what it's all about for us, traveling to home and away games. We were in Luxembourg, the lads were in Hungary. I obviously didn't make that one and they've never let me live it down, but we've been at home and away for these games. We see other media outlets, all fair play. I don't know where they're going to park their bandwagon this week, but we've been there from the start, and that's why we're very proud to bring that to you, the Irish fans, by Irish fans who go to games, and that's what it's all about for us. So, do make sure you have a chat with us. I know it may go viral if you're chatting to Off the Ball and all these other people as well, but don't forget, we are uncensored, unfiltered, and we're here for you to have a good chat and have a bit of crack. There's my little rant. Is that all right, Conor? And you can meet Rep Tracker, and don't shake Dave's hand either, and you can buy me a beer. Michael Farrelly, I missed the start. Have you picked your team? No, we haven't picked them, and we're going to do it the next few days.
Well, Dave has picked his team, Egypt, when we asked him to do the other team.
Yeah.
I seen Dave's in the comments, sorry, the gobshite. But anyway, he's arrived. Dave has arrived.
He's arrived.
So I guarantee you Celtic will be saying hello, David. David, do not say hello. Or Celtic, do not say hello to him. Do not talk to him. But
Yeah,
See
we haven't
Frank
done it
saying,
yet,
but
Michael Farrell, but we will. We will obviously be doing it as
it'll
part
be
of our
Wednesday.
build-up.
But on our match preview, you'll see our teams. We don't want to give it away till
No,
Wednesday. Come on now.
we've got to tease you a bit. Here comes Chris says no Doherty, no Festy, happy days. It's a bit harsh on Festy, I think. Told you Armstrong wouldn't get near the squad, so I did. Going forward, no praise for him at all until he's lashing the ball in the net on a regular basis now. His spot on Obig should be under serious risk.
I'll remember that for the next time you said about a Cork player. Rory, bye.
Rory, yeah. Stephen Ring, if we get to the final, the fact there will only be 600 away fans in Dublin has to be a huge advantage. I certainly think so, yeah. I think it's absolutely brilliant. I've done well with that. And, if that's poor, isn't it? I mean, look, if it was the other way round, I know if it was the other way round and we were traveling to Denmark, we would have got 2,000, probably, I suppose. I don't know. But yeah, look, we would have been breaking down the walls again, I think. Dublin Drunken Sailors, most excited I've been for any Island Games since 2016, but wasn't old enough to drink then. So it's going to be some crack. Nirvana says 2 games we can win. Not going to be easy, but great positions to be in. We are not Brazil or Spain. Parrott going to have a big say. It's a long time since we've had a star like him. Yeah. And this is just into point I think you were saying about the last kind of star, was it? I think anything to be said for Callum Robertson as the last Parrott, the kind of breakout kind of player everyone really loved, the real CR7.
No, it was kind of like a 6-month spell,
Flash
wasn't it?
in
It
the
was
pan,
that
wasn't
hat
it?
trick against guitar, yeah.
Yeah.
But no, but he was good for that. To be
Oh
fair.
yeah,
He did
I
quite
really
well,
liked
but
it.
it was just
Fantastic.
it wasn't World Cup qualifiers or anything of that nature.
Yeah, he was really good for a while, wasn't he? Luxembourg game, he had a good game, I think, as well.
Yeah.
Away. I'm in the Canaries at the moment, says Eugene, and there's sightings of Parrott shirts all over the strip. Fantastic to see. Brilliant. Love that. Rory says the boozers are in full swing already, so they are, lads. Down in Gallagher's in Cork yesterday, and there was a young lad Bluetooth in Papa Sugar's goals onto the telly like an Egypt. Gen Z.
Fuck's sake.
This is what it's about. Brilliant. Too many in here wanted Ferguson in, always over Parrott. Was nuts playing him over Parrott when his form has been incredible, says Dublin Drunken Sailor.
Martin, I'm just checking here what the weather's like for Prague. Are you bringing shorts? 15 degrees?
It's not 15 degrees. I got sent bring a coat. I won't be bringing a coat, but still, I don't think I'll be wearing shorts.
I might bring one pair just in case.
Oh Jesus, this is fantastic, isn't it? We're having a right chat here. Weather watch with a new feature on a
weather tracker.
Weather tracker. I've got it as Wednesday's 15. Oh yeah, Wednesday 8 on Thursday. So a bit. That's just going to cool us down, and after the celebrations and the hangovers the next day. It's fantastic. Yeah. So yeah, maybe then 15. Yeah. We'll have a bit of that, will we? Try and get some match worn shorts onto me. Didn't Dave buy some match worn shorts recently, or didn't I send him a link to them? He did buy them. Animal. The pressures on the check is on check as they are favourites, says Jack Krauser. The lineup should be the same as Hungary game, bar the change of colour and scales. I bring in Lowell and Manning in, says Nick. Czechs have more players than Hungary in top 5 leagues. Czech domestic league is stronger than Hungary's too, says Clem Fandango.
Yep.
Don't know if you touched on this, Stephen Ring, but I hope the Czech new manager bounces with the same quality of Igor Tudor's at Spurs. Yeah. Oh yeah, that is good. I have no real confidence for this game. Hopefully, boys prove me wrong. Our only goal scoring threat is Parrott, says Jack Krause. I don't agree with that. I think we have got. We've got threats. I think Chio is due a goal. Sammy Schmodix is due a goal for Ireland. And Azaz as well. This might go to Penno, says Jack Krauser. Dublin Drunken Sailor says nobody has confidence before Portugal. You have to have some belief after the last 2 games. Yeah, I think that's what Hamer is saying. The lads have kind of believing now and thinking, well, we can beat them and we can do this, of course. Self Symphony, he's got 200 quid on Ireland 1-0. Rory says we should have been after Kieran Morrison. The lads support Liverpool and they'd be chewing my ear off about him now called up for the North. Anything about him?
Really
quickly.
Really good player, but yeah, he's just with the North, unfortunately.
Your country. Deck Mac 1999. I think Azaz will have a key role to play on Thursday.
Yeah, I think he could be the difference of whether we qualify or not.
Yes, I think that's a good point. Yeah, I think so. Jack Krause, if we do go through, hope it's North Macedonia we play. I have post-traumatic stress disorder playing against Denmark. Kevin says we're all ultimate optimists, but I just can't see us winning 2 wins on the bounce of the game of these sizes. I hope they do it though. It's just winning 2 consecutively after the other 2, and then it is. But they're a form side. I mean, this is something John O'Shea spoke, didn't he? That it was lovely to get the celebration, but also that if we'd have just bounced into those playoffs, it would have been nicer. The group would have been on a massive high, but hopefully, they are on a high still. They're coming into a good positive group of performance. They're going to be showing all those videos. They're going to see amazing support as well around Prague. Surely going to be seeing it. They're watching the show as well. All the build up, like what we're providing. They're going to see the amount of goodwill and fans that are behind Ireland at the moment, which is incredible. We seriously lack midfield quality, though, says Jack, to bring us back down to earth. Keith Moore says, looking forward to your coverage, lads, and build up. Yep, supporter of Lansdowne Raw Plus. Thank you, Keith, for your support. Yep, and we will, of course, have loads of content. We're going to be chatting to Irish fans, like our good friend Frank. We're going to catch up with him, of course. He's at 12:45 in Vancouver at the moment, is what he's just confirmed. He's confirming that's the time in Vancouver for the game.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You said at the moment.
No, I said he is on his way now, as we've said. We're jumping in, Mr. fucking Malumbi over there. Keep your discipline. According to some people. Nick says set pieces will be key for both teams. Hope to God we found a better long thrower than O'Brien. That was brilliant. Bill put that up, didn't he? The photo of him drawing the ball. Yeah. So don't let Hamer see this. Brilliant. Hopefully Vale will do the business in the midfield. This is an interesting one, Conor. Question for you I've just come up with. Vale, do you think he'll have an impact? Do you think he'll play?
Yeah, I think he'll definitely play. I think if you bring someone in for the first time for this camp, you bring someone in if they're definitely going to play. I think he's definitely seen as an option to come off the bench. I think he's up by his backup.
Okay. Jack Krauser says that Coleman must start. Nick, I think this is in relation to the penalty shootouts. I'd back Egan to smash one in the top corner. I think has Egan took a penalty before in a shootout for Ireland? Or am I imagining that? I think he might have took one in maybe for Sheffield United when he was there, or Hull. I definitely have remember it. Alan Foley, can you wish long-suffering fan Owen Carroll a happy birthday tomorrow, the day he's heading for Prague, yearning to get a Duckler Prague jersey? Yeah, okay. Owen, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Owen.
This is in relation to Heimer's contract. This is what Celtic has to say. I agree with the sentiment, Harrison, especially when it looks as though Guardiola and Slot will be free agents this summer. Do we really want this future football at a home championship? Obviously, Jack Krauser, though, does say he misses the 2-leg games. Harrison, I would be content to see Lowell starting the game. I'm not sure that the manager has the guts to do such a thing. We can let artificial intelligence select our teams for a $14.99 per month subscription. Thanks, Celtic, says Harrison. For fuck's sake, no spotters, please. Can't take that stress, says Keith. Right at 641 says, all I want for Christmas is a Duckler Prague away kit. Patrick says, I'm looking forward to games now. Game day can't come soon enough. Irish Baller says, what hotel the team staying at? Asking for a friend. I don't know. I'm only joking when I say I do. Omi Nerve says, Michael Mahoney. Aaron says, when are you heading? Have you a nice 5-star hotel booked? I presume Dave is treating you. Jesus. Okay. David Dunn says, you weren't in Budapest, Martin. No, you weren't in Japan, David. I think. I don't know. Were you in 2012? I can't remember.
He wasn't in
live.
Is he on the live shows?
Yeah. Are you on a live show anymore, Dave?
2026. Are you on a live show, dude? Where are you now when it matters?
Flash in the pan. There he is. Half man, half biscuit song. Says right at 641. Enjoy, lads, says Aaron. When will you be live in the stadium? Like an hour before? Yep, that is the plan. Although Dave will probably be in there 4 hours before, looking for Maltesers from the previous match on the floor. There's Dave, says Frank. Thomas Sushik to lose his rag and be sent off for the checks, says Deck Mac. Damo says, "Hi guys, love the show. Is there surprise Conor commentary not included? Something Conor asked in the conference. Wow, very little game time misses. Huge match going into. Hope the lads get the job done." Dave says, "Hi,
Yes.
Frank." Yeah, just to let you know, Frank, Dave is a contributor to Lansdowne Raw. If you might not know who he is. So Symphony, uncensored Prendy, you delete half my messages, you bollocks, yeah. I don't think so. Have I not read every one of his messages tonight?
No, tonight.
I think I did. I just didn't read about the pissed. Hi Dave, the legend. Oh yeah, look, it'll be voice note you now, Frank. Don't encourage him. Silk Symphony. Hi Dave, we miss you, says Silk Symphony. Parrot scored 3 against Sparta Prague, says Jack Krauser. There's ridiculous expectation on Parrot, says Owen Carroll. Yeah, there probably is. I think for the fans traveling over to Prague, look, our hopes are high, and there is a lot of expectation on Parrot. But I think what will be important is when we get through that game is the expectation doubling and that how we approach that. Because 600 away fans are going to be there. Now I'm getting ahead of myself, of course, but it's just that, there's going to be a lot of Irish fans there who are just expecting a fantastic performance and Ireland to go to the World Cup. And it's going to be exceptionally difficult to do that in Dublin if it's a World Cup playoff. There's different pressure to it. You're so close then. There's a lot to lose. And it's going to be a very nervous expectation on the lads as well. And that's what the staff have got to do. Paddy McCarthy, John O'Shea, they've got to try and keep the lads calm. And, it's a job half done when we win on Thursday. And I hope we're going to be having a chat about that. And that will be the phrase I'll be using. Stephen Ring, Thursday night is to be a 1% with a chance of snow. 1 degrees. Sorry, on about. Would you agree, lads, says Aaron? For the size of some of our players, we should be a lot better at scoring from corners, like O'Brien, Collins, O'Shea, Scales. Maybe Thursday is the day. Yeah. We used to be very, very good at set pieces, but I think it's something that obviously we've seen at Arsenal. How I do believe in this. I think there should be a lot more set piece goals. Most teams should be absolute danger of them. That it's just time teams and clubs have to work on them. Harrison D says here, if Parrot smashed in a couple more now and we're off to the World Cup, where would he be in the halls of Irish legends? May get the statue up, so we will.
Is he? I think he becomes our second greatest ever striker ever. I know Dave will try and do stuff about fucking Aldo, but he surpasses John Aldridge. I think he becomes our number 2 all time already. In terms of strikers.
Yeah, but I think it's for moments, isn't it? Like,
yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, strikers.
Yeah. But like over a career is a bit like you'll also bang go like Ray Houghton, unbelievable like moments for Ireland and stuff, and was brilliantly consistent and played for Liverpool and Villa and had a fantastic club career. Was so consistent. I think Parrot is having moments at the moment, but it's then got to be he's got to go on and challenge for that, top time all goal scorer record, which was incredible. Robbie King, we underestimate and we don't appreciate that, to be honest. But look, definitely going to be up there as a moments without a doubt, and he is already, to be honest, isn't he? On the back of that, on the back of those 2 games already. So, but that's what you want. Like you want to be at the top table competing and have a top world class player playing for you and doing this regularly in week in, week out when they play. That's what you're relying on, that consistency with that performance, because that's what other teams have against us often. Celtic says, I'd love to see if Benet scored a winner. He's been brilliant for years. Harrison D said, I have Parrot on the same line as Keane and McGrath. He would deserve it, wouldn't he? Well, yeah, it's getting there, but we're in a really kind of social media world now. I mean, look, if people saw a lot more of those videos of week in, week out performances of Paul McGrath and things, it's different.
Yeah, but we kind of mean just in Ireland. Sure.
I know. No, I do get it. No, but I'm just. Yeah, but I'd say, I think David might be I was going to say Dave might be supporting me now, but he's not, obviously. But I think he would make that point with me as well. You look back at careers ultimately, I think. Harrison says, I would love to see Brady get the winner. He has given us so many good moments, and hopefully there's more to come, please God. Stephen Ring, can we keep Egan off the pitch? Don't need Egan. curse this week. When he scores away from home, we lose 2-1. Portugal and Scotland in 2021 and 22. Okay. Daniel says Johnny Kenny to win it for us in Prague. Could happen. Living in the past, mine, says Davey. Says someone. I don't know. Is that his first time on the pod? Might be. If the Parrot doesn't score a hat trick, he's a failure, says Celtic. Miss you too, says David Dunn. You Jampton says heading over tomorrow from Armagh with my son. Absolutely no chance ticket, but just want to experience the crack. Yep, hope keep the faith and have a fantastic trip with your son. Enjoy it, because that's what it's all about for me. And get behind the lads wherever you're going to be watching it, and stay safe, of course, as well. Lowell would be good for set pieces, all right. 6'4" according to Google. Only O'Brien may be bigger. Says Rory. Sean de Bursa, do you think there was any chance that Vale could start? He's a creator we need. Conor has just said he thinks he will play at some stage. Killian O'Dwyer is, if you could have a standby goalkeeper, defender, midfielder, and attacker who are not in the squad, who would be the 4 players you would pick?
Standby goalkeeper right now? Oh, Jesus. Yeah. It's probably Ed McGinty because of injuries. Good defender, Obama midfielder, Conor Coventry, attacker, Boston Wall. Not Boston Wall, Sinclair Armstrong.
Who? Who did you say? Oh, Sinclair Armstrong. Yeah, God, of course you did. Thoughts on Parrott's links to Milan and Dortmund, says Stephen Ring. Personally, I think German football will suit him better.
I agree. That would be a bit depressing.
I don't think you're even listening. Gavin Keeley, was Killian Phillips unlucky not to be in the squad? Probably not really, I don't think.
No, I think he will need to get out of St Mirren if he's going to get back in the Ireland team.
John Joe Patrick Finn, should he got back in?
No, but he is actually, fair to John Joe Patrick Finn, he is starting to play again now every week for Stade Rennes, which is good.
And again, it's sometimes just time, isn't it? It's like, you think of, like, people are saying, and they rightly kind of slagging Dave off there about his criticism and saying that Troy Parrott would never be an Irish international. But, you've got to remember, Troy Parrott went on that kind of journey. He was at Millwall, wasn't he? MK Dons. Ipswich. Very similar in a sense to that profile of a Spurs player like Harry Kane. I've said this on this before as well. Harry Kane went around a lot of loan moves and things. It just sometimes takes time. So, that's just something I would just reference into that. Sometimes some of these players need time. That's important. Do you know what the story is with Evan and Roma? Is that saga over, says Sean de Bursa?
Yeah, it's done. Yeah, he's finished there.
It's done. Okay. So, and wish him very best of luck with his recovery. I'm sure he'll be in Dublin watching the lads if he can, as part of his recuperation anyway. Aside from that, if he can get a bit of time off, of course. And of course, you feel sorry for anyone who's missing out from the Ireland squad, because obviously we put a lot of time and affection towards them, and they put effort in for Ireland and stuff, and it must be gutting, like to Josh Cullen and stuff, but we know they're all fully behind Ireland as we're trying to qualify for the World Cup for the first time since 2002. This is where you've got to follow it, though. We're going to have lots of content this week. We're all heading over to Prague. That's me, Conor, and Dave's going over as well. So of course, and many of you have missed Dave this evening on the show, but you'll be able to catch up with him in Prague. This is where he really cuts the mustard with the team here at Lansdowne Raw, keeps us all in check, and this is where you will be able to have a good chat with us, crack with us. We're going to do some interviews on the streets in Prague. We're going to have it all covered pre-match. We've got some shows coming out, of course, in the build up to an exceptional week in Irish football, so do get behind the lads. Stay safe if you're traveling over. Safe journey, of course, and make sure you have subscribed. Check out our fantastic partner, Slattery's of Beggars Bush. Check out Travel Igo as well for your future trips for Ireland games, international games, and also Champions League, European League, Premier League, FA Cup finals, all sorts of travel trips they do. But make sure as well that you have subscribed to the channel, and check out our fantastic fanzine. The lads have done an awful load of work on that to give you lots of key info heading over to Prague, and also covering things for the Ireland games in Dublin as well. But we're going to be in Slattery's on Tuesday. But before that, we're going to be in Prague, and we're looking forward to seeing as many of you as we can bump into, of course. Thank you again for your support this evening. Conor, fantastic job with all the insight into our under-17s and 19s and the 21s. If you can't make it to Prague and you have got the time and around Dublin, try and get to see the under-21s live and in the flesh and support them. And then we will obviously have it all covered pre-match from the inside the stadium on match day on Thursday. And hopefully the aftermath will be an absolutely buzzing affair where you're going to see Dave and Conor hopping around inside the stadium as they were in Budapest. And then you can catch up with me after in Prague. Right. Over and out from us. Loads of comments still coming in. Thank you for tonight. But come on, you boys in green.